Our top story new this hour. Gatineau police are back at Cégep de l'Outaouais in Gatineau as student protesters continue to push the Quebec government to end a planned tuition hike. Police say about 100 demonstrators blocked access to the main campus, Gabriel Roy, in Hull, but there are no reports of protesters at the Félix Leclerc campus at this time. Ottawa police have released a sketch of the suspect they believe is behind a string of brazen attacks on women walking alone. The man is suspected of committing 7 sexual assaults where a woman was approached from behind, her pants pulled down and touched inappropriately. Now, he's described as white, somewhere between 20 and 30 years old, standing about 5'6", with an average build, short dark hair and dark eyes. During some of the attacks, he wore a dark hooded jacket and a baseball cap. The attacks happened downtown and in the Alta Vista area, and often between the hours of 6 and 8 a.m. Call police or Crime Stoppers if you have any information. A 33-year-old man is dead after being shot by OPP in Augusta Township. Neighbors have identified the victim as Matthew Roque. OPP were called out to a home shortly before 1 a.m. yesterday. When they arrived, Roque had fled the house. The canine unit was called in but didn't find him. Then around 7 a.m., police returned and found him on the side of the road wielding a knife. There was a brief confrontation and then Roque was shot.
Crying shame that it had done that way, and unfortunately, you know, he's laying up there underneath the tarp. He's a brother, he's a son, he's a grandson, he's a nephew, he's an uncle, he's people's friends.
The Special Investigations Unit is now handling the case. A young driver whose out-of-control car struck and killed an Ottawa couple has pled guilty to dangerous driving causing death. Simon Banky entered the Ottawa courthouse surrounded by supporters. The 22-year-old admitted that in September 2010, he was driving dangerously fast and out of control when he struck Leo Paul and Sherry Ann Renier. The couple's 3 teenage daughters are now in the care of relatives. Banky will be sentenced in September. An experienced hang gliding pilot whose passenger fell to her death in BC's Fraser Valley remains in custody. Police accuse John Orders of swallowing a memory card containing video of the fatal flight, and they have charged him with obstruction of justice. A series of x-rays now confirm the card is inside him. He will remain in custody until the card passes through his body. As a result, his bail hearing has been delayed until Friday. In a desperate and final plea for his life, a Canadian man on death row in Montana is apologizing for the crimes he committed. But 30 years after he killed 2 men, the victim's family still don't want to show Ronald Smith any mercy. Smith's family argues, though, the reformed man's life is worth sparing. Smith is asking the parole board to recommend that his death sentence be reversed. Montana's governor will have the final say. And there were dozens of wheelchairs on Parliament Hill yesterday as MPs took part in the annual Chairleader event. MPs helped to raise awareness about spinal cord injuries while learning the challenges faced by those in wheelchairs. Volunteers spent the day in a wheelchair and say it was an eye-opening experience.
It does give you a new perspective on things. I mean, the simple things that Canadians take for granted, you know, just obviously climbing curbs, going through doors and so on. It does give you an appreciation of the fact that even on a place like Parliament Hill, it's not necessarily as wheelchair friendly as it should be.
The event is all part of Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. That's a look at news. Let's find out